Okay. Let me get this ready. All right. So the last time we played, you guys had boarded the train to Stockholm, and everything started out normal. It was just a normal train ride. It was pretty comfortable. You guys were put in a first class private room, with its own door and everything like that. Very private, and your enjoyment was very quickly stomped out when you heard the thud of somebody falling in the room next to you. And Kai rushed over to check things out. The door was locked, and he had gotten Ingrid, the attendant, not Ingrid, the doctor, to open the door. And inside, they had found a body of an old man who appeared to have been of Japanese descent. The room was very cold, and that was despite the fact that the furnace was burning red hot right next to you. And Kai, you were starting to piece things together already, and you rushed back to the other room and started piecing together your notes. And that was when you had seen it, something staring at you from the window. Well, a couple of people saw it. Actually, let me bring you guys back to the train here. Okay. So we are right here, right now. Since Aloy is not here to defend himself, I'm going to leave him cowering in the corner just for a moment. I'm going to say that... Oh, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I was going to say everyone was afraid, I think.
Yes, everyone in that room except you.
Except for... Yeah, because she hadn't gone in the room.
That's right. So I'm going to say that Amanda, at this point in time, had also kind of gone to stand near Jace, kind of in a way of huddling together and, safety in numbers type thing. And when you guys saw this thing, Kai, you pieced it together that you were dealing with a Shinigami. How or why it is here is beyond you. However, something definitely is not right, because it seems to be trained in on you. And meanwhile, you're getting lots of guilty thoughts of your father's death just flooding your mind constantly, like this whole train ride, basically. And I think that is pretty much where we left it, that the Shinigami had left, and you guys were about to head into the next train car, if I remember correctly. And I think that brings us back to where we need to go, or where we need to be. All right, so I think that Ingrid, the attendant, is going to rush over here, and she's going to open the door after hearing multiple people gasping in fear, and she's going to rush in and ask if everybody's okay. And she's going to see all you guys basically just sitting there terrified. What is everybody doing right now?
I am trying to figure out if maybe it came back to collect the rest of the essence that it left behind, maybe?
Okay. Well, it's certainly possible, considering you found that same stuff on the body of the man in the next room over. It's probably not coincidence. At least you think that's the case.
Yeah. Is it possible? I don't remember during my testing of this substance if I had tried to burn it or not. Would you say that based on that, I would have like knowledge of just everything that I would have tried to attempt to burn the powder left behind by chance?
You know what? Let's say no, you have not. So if you'd like to try
Okay.
now, we can give it a shot.
I'm going to take some of the powder out of the jar from my father that was left behind, and then I'm going to stick it in the fire.
Okay. 1 second. So, where did my thing go? Hang on, bear with me for 1 sec. So, there it is. Okay. So, as you place it into the fire, it burns red hot. Like it almost like glass when it heats up to like a moldable substance.
Mm-hmm.
When you did that, though, something strange happened with the light. And so it seems that whatever you've done has now attracted something. And,
Attracted something
like
back?
Yes, attracted something back to you.
Okay. Perfect.
And
I'm going to call out to it. Or no. Actually, go ahead. Say what you were going.
I was gonna say make an observation, or actually, better yet, let's do. Yeah, let's go with vigilance.
Vigilance?
Yeah.
Ooh, no.
Okay.
Darn it.
Let's see. Ingrid, the doctor, what are you doing right now? Are you still just kind of hanging out there?
Yeah, she's kind of noticed that Kai is acting odd, so she's just
Yeah.
keeping an eye out. She's just warily like looking around, trying to. But she's kind of just guarding the corridor leading in for now.
Okay.
Cool.
So Kai, you could have sworn you saw something dart out of your peripherals, just like the last time.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty certain you know what it is, obviously, but you couldn't really make it out. Ingrid is looking at you, and she's like looking out at the window, like, "What? What's wrong? What do you see?"
I'm going to call out to it and say, "You didn't expect me to burn it, did you?"
You don't receive a response.
I wasn't expecting one.
Okay. And so now, after you had said that, the light went back to normal. And almost kind of makes you wonder if, like, things are just changing as it gets closer to you. But you're not sure.
Okay. With that information, I'm going to take a little bit more of the powder and burn it again.
Are you trying to make it angry?
I'm trying to figure out if the substance that it came back for is the powder. Therefore, if I make it angry in the process, that's not necessarily my intention. I just want to be able to have the ability to just kind of figure out how to beat it more than anything. So if this is leading to that, then maybe I missed something in my initial research.
Okay. All right. So you're going to throw some more powder in there?
Just a little bit more of it, yes.
All right. So this time, again, the light does a weird thing. It shuts off completely this time. And standing in front of you is the Shinigami. It's holding its hand out. And it whispers. And Kai, you can only hear this right now.
Okay.
And he says, "Give me the powder."
What do I get in return?
It takes a moment for it takes a moment. And roll me a learning check, Kai.
Okay.
Two successes. Nice. All right. So, Kai, in your previous learnings from your wife's Shinigami research or Japanese
Storytelling.
Yes. Yeah, that's whatever it is. You remember hearing specifically that a lot of people have managed to avoid death, specifically by breaking a deal with the Shinigami. And usually these deals are not good deals. So,
Well, I will look at the Shinigami and say, I will give you the powder on one condition.
he waits for your next part of your sentence there.
That one condition is you do not harm me or my family members or my friends ever again.
I cannot make that deal.
And why not?
It is not the way.
It may not be the way for you, but I feel like I'm the one in control of things here.
That is where you're wrong. And then it disappears. And then the light turns back on.
Well, I didn't think about this.
Did any of the rest of us hear that?
Nope, only Kai. It's
Okay.
almost Kai. It's almost like the voice. You heard it like audibly, sure, but it almost felt like it was like kind of echoing in your head too, almost as if like you were hearing it from within.
Mm-hmm. Did they hear me talking to it, though?
Yes. So everybody else in the room is looking at you talking to nothing.
I'm going to inform everybody. I don't know what just happened, but I have a feeling I pissed it off.
Well,
What,
I mean, it's
what
not
did
the first time you pissed off a Vason, so...
I
What did
mean,
you make
this
angry?
is partially true.
Time.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
came face to face with a Shinigami just now.
A what?
Oh,
It's a Japanese, like, demon of sorts. Kind of like a Grim Reaper.
Angel of Death.
Yes, similar to a Grim Reaper.
What does it want?
The powder. I tried to offer it for something in return, but then it told me it could not make the deal.
I mean, there must be a good salesman then.
You would probably be incorrect, or you would probably be correct there. That's what I meant to say, because English is hard today.
That's all right. It is for me every day.
It's only hard just because siblings' graduation parties and stuff today had to translate my girlfriend's speak
Oh,
of sorts.
all right. So, oh yeah,
Does this pose a threat to anybody else?
I
Here? I mean, it's already killed one person.
know.
Is it what killed the person next door?
I would assume so, since this powder was here. And I show her the powder that came from the person next door.
Ingrid's not in the
Well
room.
as-
She's talking to you from
no.
outside the door still. Doctor
I'm
Ingrid.
not
I'm
going
gonna
in there.
open the door all the way up and
She's keeping
offer
a
her to
careful
look
eye
in.
on the surrounding hallway, looking, keeping
Mhm.
watching both ways, and
Yep, I'm just gonna open the doorway all the way so she can see inside, and just show her the powder that I have gathered from the person,
Okay.
as well as the jar of powder from my father's death.
See, same.
Yep, and when I burn it, it seems to do weird things. Which is something that I never did in my research initially. Because I didn't think we were here yet. And Doc is awfully quiet. I don't know why.
Doc, you having microphone trouble? Can kind of barely hear you.
Hmm?
Are you having microphone trouble?
You're just awfully quiet.
No, sorry.
Just waking up?
I was picking up something to
Okay.
have a quick breakfast.
That's better. No, I
Sorry.
can hear you now.
Ah. Perfect.
All right. So
Breakfast is important.
Kai showed Ingrid the crystal powder. Ingrid, are you doing anything at this point, or?
I mean, she looks at it and then she looks back at Kai and says, "You seem to know a lot about this. What are we supposed to do? Can we protect the others on the train? Can we protect ourselves?"
Maybe, but I don't know what happens if I give the powder to the Shinigami.
Do you know what happens if you don't? Normally, Vason.
I think I just piss it off.
Normally, Vason, I would think if it wants something, would just attack you.
Take it? Right. But it's almost like he wanted to make a deal of sorts.
Perhaps.
Which is why I'm confused.
Well, Kai, in your research, you. How do I want to do this?
I've stumped the DM. Woohoo! No, I'm kidding.
No. I'm easily stumped anyway, so that's not hard to do.
I'm just kidding.
No, that's fine. I would say that probably in your previous research and things like that, you would know that Shinigamis are fond of striking deals. However, the deal is, again, not in the favor of the person who's staying alive.
Ah.
But I don't want to give up my soul to a demented thing of sorts, you know?
You would also know that the Shinigami, again, marks people that it wants, or that influences people to do things, to die, basically.
Yep.
The Shinigami is essentially a death spirit, and they influence in certain ways. And, that's all I'm giving you for now.
Okay.
So maybe you'll have to just broaden your search.
All right, Dr. Ingrid will ask, was that the creature you were talking to? I couldn't hear anything.
Correct. That was the creature that I was talking to just now.
What did it say then?
It said give me the powder, but I tried to strike a deal with it, and it didn't want to take the deal.
What made you think that it was trying to strike a deal? It just told you to give you something. It didn't.
But I didn't get anything in return.
Fair.
They're usually pretty fond of deal making at this point, so that's why I was very confused.
Is there any? Is there anything in particular about the fact that only you could hear it?
Well, that would
Ah,
allude to the fact that he was hearing the voice in his head.
would allude to the fact that I was hearing the
Right,
voice in
but
my head.
why would it make it so that only you could hear it? So is there something in particular about you that interested? Maybe because you're the one that had the powder.
So my father died to one of these things, I believe. I have tracked it to at least that.
Do you
Other
think
than
it's
that, I'm
another one of these two creatures, or maybe the same one?
I it feels like it's the same one. Like that's all I can really think of is that it's the same exact person or the same exact being of sorts.
That would explain like these unresolved feelings of guilt that you've been getting. Like, it knows something about you.
I'm gonna do it again.
All right.
So I throw another little bit of the dust into the fire.
Okay. And at that point, the light does the very same thing. Give me a moment. Shuts off. And it appears in almost the same spot that you were in before. And it holds out its hand and it says, "Give me the powder."
Tell me what you know, and you'll have some of the powder.
That powder does not belong to you.
I know, that's why I have it in my possession. I would like to know if you know something that I don't about myself.
I know many things about you, Kai Morstad.
Please. We're in a place of sharing information.
I know the exact date of your death. I know how and when you will die.
Well, don't most Shinigami know this information?
We do. And all of your friends, I know when they'll die too. And I could make it sooner if you didn't give me the powder. I tell you what, if you give me the powder, I'll let you live. However, perhaps maybe I can just become part of you. Perhaps.
So if you become part of me, what happens?
That's what he's saying. What he's saying is when he refers to tethering himself to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So when he chooses his target, he, basically does his thing.
Right, but then he feeds off the soul of my soul, essentially, correct?
Pretty much, yeah. He whispers things into your mind, driving you towards doing things that you wouldn't normally do, driving towards suicide. That's what they do.
I'm going to inform him, or the Shinigami, that I am not interested in parting with my soul. However, I will give him the powder as a benefit to him, because even though he may know my exact death date, I would not like to know what day I die, kind of thing. Like, I don't want to know the information. And if I'm dying sooner rather than later just because I didn't give him the powder,
Mm-hmm.
then I don't see the benefit of knowing what day I die.
Understood.
I would like to live a longer life than what I'm living now.
Gotcha. The Shinigami ponders for a moment. His face is like swirling, and his mouth is like kind of just moving, almost as if he's talking, but he's not. And he sits there in silence for a moment, and he says, "I will not take your soul. I will just become a part of you."
And I'm going to inform him, but that's not what you normally do as a Shinigami. Based on the rumor, the knowledge that I possess on Shinigami from the Japanese folklore, that is not how you work, how you operate. I don't see the benefit in you sucking my soul out just to be able to thrive.
Then what do you propose?
I'm going to basically tell him, I am not my father. I'm assuming you made a deal with my father for the same.
Your father didn't end up holding his end of the bargain.
And what makes you think that I'm able to do that?
I don't. But just know that, Kai Morstad, if you do break our bargain, I will find you, and I will kill you.
Then I know what the bargain is.
What kind of a bargain do you think a Shinigami would make with you?
Ooh. I have to look that one up.
No, this is a tough one, especially considering you guys are like in Norway right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's far away from Japan. Let's take a moment to think about that for a second. What is everybody else doing in this particular moment in time? I know that Jace and Amanda are watching Kai with great interest right now because he's basically talking to nothing.
Doctoring. Oh, go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
Alright. I mean, I would say Avery is just somewhat disoriented and somewhat desensitized. Like, coming from a very spiritual how do I say this?
The
Like,
troop? The gypsy troop or
troop,
whatever.
a gypsy troop, yeah. Like, he's used to seeing, like, rituals where people get possessed or something like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of gets an idea of what is happening, but maybe he's like off center. Is that the correct word? Like,
Yeah, I get what you're
he
saying.
missed the target like by a mile or something.
Yeah.
But
so-
yeah, he assumed that Kai is like trying to converse with this thing, but he just like trying to rack his brain on how he can help or something like that.
Yeah. All right. So you know what we'll do? How about everybody roll me an observation? Yeah, let's do observation.
Including me, or just...
Kai, you don't need to worry about it. You can already see the
Okay.
Shinigami.
Before we do that, because Donnerig, right? She is not looking in, but she's just intently listening. But she's listening. She's not really trying to listen for the Shinigami. She's listening to very carefully to all the things that Kai is saying,
Mm-hmm.
and then trying to deduce. Like he mentioned his father, and so she's trying to deduce like some of the things that the creature might have been saying, right? Just by listening to, and piecing together from the words that Kai is saying, trying to understand what's going on. Which,
If you'd like, you can roll learning to see if you could get that information, and then we could
okay,
just kind of assume that you did learn it when you.
good enough.
What's up?
I'm trying to
Trying to think of a bargain.
I'm trying to look up and try to understand like what because they're a god of death. So
the Shinigami, above all else, likes to deal in deals.
mm-hmm. He's trying to invite me towards a longer life of sorts is what I'm thinking and what I'm understanding of the sort. But
you know that it wants to, quote unquote, tether itself to you. Essentially, it would be something you can't see, but its presence will always be there, weighing on you. And this could feed on your guilt. It can feed on your feelings. It can drive you towards suicidal thoughts. It can drive you towards harming other people or doing crazy
and I don't
things.
necessarily want to do that. So that's what I'm trying to.
It's either that or you can fight it.
Don't really want to blow up a train.
It does.
Obviously, I'm joking.
No, I get it. It does pose a problem when you're in a confined train.
If I was Kai, what deal would I make with the god of death?
How about give him the powder or he kills everybody on the train?
That's not fair.
No, we won't
Well,
do that.
it's not fair to you.
Not fair to it's not fair to anybody, in my opinion, because he can already know. He already knows when they will die, regardless.
Well,
and I don't necessarily want the knowledge of my death. You know?
There are other ways around this.
I'm trying to think of those other ways.
Yeah, so...
without fighting him.
Salt is another way of keeping it away from you. That's always an option, but you're just going to carry salt with you all the time?
No, not
we can
normally.
look for it in the kitchen.
Or you can accept your guilt, Kai, about your father's death and hand over the ashes, and then you can create a new memento. That's always an option as well, if you lose or break your memento in the game.
I'm going to look at the Shinigami, and I'm going to ask, if I hand you my jar, And then like the powder, can you create something from it in return?
I do not create things.
From what I remember, you guys advise people near their death to whether or not it's meaningful. Correct?
Yes.
If I recall, you guys also have the ability to give a talisman of sort to remind people that they were once visited by you.
Where'd you read that? I didn't hear about that.
I did some research on Japanese, like Shinigami, just now.
Oh.
They actually, because they're basically in Japanese mythology, they're gods of death, but they do give talismans to remind people that their time is coming. It's just not necessarily at that moment of death.
Mm-hmm.
And then they carry that talisman with them throughout till they reach their afterlife.
I can't believe I didn't even see that. All right, well, if that's the case, then yes, the Shinigami will do that. So are you gonna hand it the stuff?
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
it's more of a good luck charm almost.
Yep, understood.
Like a charm of sorts. So
sounds good. Yeah, so you hand it the jar, and it pours some of it into its little wispy black palms, and it presses his hands together, and it creates something in his hand, and then he hands it to you, and it's just a small little trinket item, almost kind of resembles like a small Japanese coin, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing really noticeable about it. Nothing that really jumps out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a standard coin.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we'll say it comes with a type of chain that you can wear around your neck.
That I can put around my neck. Yep. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Your kindness is appreciated.
Okay. So at that point, the Shinigami disappears. It doesn't say anything on its way out, but it's gone for now. And maybe someday it'll be back to collect. But
I'm gonna look at the room and see everybody kind of looking at me in like of sorts. I would assume.
yes, Ingrid, you didn't. Did you see any of this? Were you peering in when this was happening?
Dr. Ingrid, you mean? I assume.
Yes, Dr.
If you're
Ingrid.
asking me.
Sorry.
No, she's outside. She's just been focusing on listening.
Okay.
So she wouldn't just because it had been dark and yeah, she was assuming that she couldn't see it. So
yeah. Okay.
just listening.
All right. And Avery, what are you doing now that you've just seen Kai receive something out of thin air and put it around his neck?
I would say so. Avery would say something like, "Did you learn that from Jace? You know, his magic tricks."
I will look at. I'll give her a smile, or I'll give Avery a smile, and just say something like that.
Oh, fun! Can you teach me next?
I'm gonna like try and not have to like answer that next question. I'm gonna be like, nope. How about never?
Fair
I don't
enough.
want to experience that again. Thank you very much.
All right. So now that the Shinigami has left you, and I think that Jace and Amanda are going to be still a little surprised as to what they just witnessed, having seen Kai standing in the middle of the room talking to nobody, and then suddenly just receive a trinket out of thin air, which is definitely a strange sight. Amanda is definitely very traumatized by this because she's already like frightened enough as it is just seeing this thing a while ago.
Mhm.
But this whole having the sight thing is still very new to her, and she's definitely never seen anything like that before.
I'm gonna look to everybody as I'm holding on to the necklace. I'm just gonna say, he never really did tell me what deal my father made with him. And I'm kind of just holding the coin up in my hand and flipping it over and over again,
Okay.
looking at it.
I will create an item, Kai, for you. That
Okay.
I won't do that right now, but it's just something that you can add to your inventory.
Mhm.
Let me just write that as a note. Hang on a sec. And so now that that thing's gone, you guys are free to move about the train.
Sounds like a plan.
And give me 1 sec. I'm just going to write my note here. Okay.
I'm gonna step out of the cabin for a moment.
Okay.
Is the creature gone?
I'm
Is it
just gonna.
returning?
Well, you don't know.
Uh,
It's not there anymore.
Right.
I'm gonna
Well,
look to Ingrid.
she's asking Kai this.
I'm not sure. Be completely honest with you. But I did get this interesting coin. It's almost like a talisman of sorts that reminds me of the last visit that I had with him. I feel like and I'm kind of just gonna spitball it here, and I say, I kind of feel like I've earned his trust, but I don't know for what reason.
The trust of a spirit of death? That seems
Odd, yes.
like a double-edged sword.
I totally agree with you. I I don't fully understand it myself, honestly.
Does this put
I
you
am
under
a
some sort of
little.
obligation?
I I don't know, honestly. I have no
Well,
idea.
perhaps we should check the rest of the train and see if it has visited anybody else.
Yeah, that
She'll
probably might
edge
be a good
past
idea.
Kai and start moving out, and
Yep.
she'll say this loudly enough that Avery and Jace can hear as well, and everyone in the thing.
I'm also going to start. I'm going to go the other. No, I'm going to go this direction.
The other Ingrid is going to go rush and lock the other door here that old man was dead in, just as a precaution so nobody else comes and checks things.
Yeah.
And all right, so she's going to return back to her duties here, preparing food and coffee and tea and things like that. And yeah, so you guys are going to head into the next train car? Okay.
Sure, why
Well,
not?
she'll come up. Oh, what? Go ahead.
Do you have something to say, Doc? Or Avery?
Oh, I'm just feeling along.
Oh, okay. Still
Wait.
hanging out with Milu over there, just chilling out.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I would be too.
Yeah, So,
way.
the metal door is what's in front of you here. It's like one of those old sliding ones. I don't have an animation or a sound or anything like that, unfortunately. So there we go. And as you guys enter into the second train car, it's actually one of those what they call a viewing room. So it's a very well carpeted area with very cushy red velvet seats. To your right, there's a woman sitting on the couch. She's playing cards. She seems to be acting a little weird. Maybe she's just, out there. Who knows? To your left, there's two people that are sitting in a couple of the seats right here, and they are kind of reaching across the aisle, holding hands, and they're just looking outside, watching the darkness of the trees go by, and seeing the light from the windows kind of reflect off the branches every once in a while, just enjoying their time together. And a little further down, there's a maid who is just, doing her job. She's pushing cart around, offering food and stuff like that.
Okay.
Let's see. So I think that Jace and Amanda are gonna probably make their way out now that things have calmed down. And
I'm going to take a seat in one of the chairs in the viewing car.
okay.
Kind of over here.
Okay. I think that.
And I'm gonna.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to ask if they have any inebriating substances on board.
Any what
To the maid.
substances?
Inebriating, like
Oh.
like a drink.
Okay, yes, of course. We have aquavit, and that's like the common liquor for the time.
I'm gonna ask about scotch.
She does have scotch as well, of course. She does have a pretty well-stocked bar, so scotch it
Okay.
is.
Ooh.
I'm gonna ask for a scotch on the rocks.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like Avery might be wanting a drink too, but Avery, as it seems, that woman that's standing right next to you right now is playing a game of cards, and you can't help but wonder if maybe she wants to play.
Yeah, like I'm just curious, like what game of cards are you playing on your own? Like are you playing solitaire on your own? I do that sometimes.
She was playing solitaire, yes. Roll me an observation there, Avery.
Yeah. I mean, if I pass the observation, I would be very, very annoying with it.
Hey, you got up
Yep.
one. Look at you.
Hey, you have an ace over there. You could put it up there, and you can move the king over there, and then you can move the stack over there to there.
So this woman, as you're telling her what to do and how to win at this game, she becomes visibly annoyed with you, like to the point where she's almost angry. And with your successful observation, you notice some things about her that might suggest she might be under the influence. She has very glassy eyes, and she has a faint itching patch that she's been itching at on her neck for the past couple hours.
Oh, well, does eczema already exist in this time?
Oh, this isn't eczema.
Oh.
She's got glassy eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and she's acting weird, and seems to be easily irritable. Where's Ingrid?
Yeah, I'm just gonna like move back slowly and like Ingrid, Dr. Ingrid. This woman is being weird, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at. I'm just gonna look over at the area with Doc and Ingrid and just say, I'm gonna stay out of this one.
Go
Uh,
ahead, Ingrid.
Okay. Yeah, having noticed when you had said that she was doing things, Dr. Ingrid had moved over to here, and so that she could surreptitiously watch what she's doing and try and notice, see what she can notice about, how she's moving and things. I was thinking of moving over here, but then that would be like in her line of sight. So she moved over here so she could look at her from the side and not be
That's
noticed
fine.
doing that.
So you're kind of like peeking off to the side, just kind of keeping a close eye on her.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Yeah. So she is definitely under the influence of something. Her movements are very flowy, I guess, and when she's not irritated by Avery and telling her how to play the game, she's very like happy and seems like she's just off in her own world. She's humming. So there's something not right. Um, you would also know that because you're a doctor and you deal with this stuff all the time, that opium was a big drug back then.
Mm-hmm.
So this is likely what that is. She's high on opium.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
didn't make you roll a medicine for that because I just kind of assumed you would know this, dealing with that in a hospital setting all the time.
Fair. Fair. And the other two that are like holding out, they seem kind of normal. So
Yep.
she'll just keep an eye on her just to make sure that she doesn't, in case she needs attention, but she's not gonna force it on her. So she'll give kind of a just a little knowing nod, like it's okay to Avery, and like that, that she'll keep an eye on the woman.
Yeah.
is it contagious? Like Avery is like itching for the cards, but he's like, that woman is very, very disturbing. Like the woman looks like, how common is opium? Like,
Opium is
in
very
the slums
common.
in general.
It's very
We would
common.
see it in the streets of Stockholm for sure.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so I would say that Avery is like, those are like, he's seen those in the streets, like that. He just thinks them of like, oh, those people are like being rabid, and he avoids them in general. Like, and then,
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
does Ingrid share that knowledge with Avery, or?
Well, Ingrid would know that because she works in the hospital that, people overdose a lot, and her job was probably dealing with
Mhm,
that quite a bit.
mhm.
Right. I mean, if Avery comes close, she's not gonna like shout it out. She would only whisper it so that the woman couldn't hear.
Hmm.
But
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That
Otherwise,
makes
she's
sense.
just gonna
Is she
stay and keep
okay?
an eye on the woman in case.
Yeah.
Also to see if she's like surreptitiously trying to take more. Um,
She does have a bag
just
near her. You do notice that. It's a brown backpack, I guess.
right. Anyway, so she's just gonna watch for now,
Okay.
keeping a watchful eye on the lady.
Okay. And
Um, how can I tell that if she is of a higher economic stature from me?
oh, roll me. You know what? Let's say that she is higher. She's probably kind of dressed pretty well. Hang on, I have a NPC picture I can just show you. She's pretty well dressed. She's more higher class, I would say. One moment. Where are you? There she is.
Like, I want to nick something off of her.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
anything from her bag.
Okay. All right. So how are you gonna do this?
Mm. I would say like while I'm here, like with Ingrid, like I would whisper to Milu, like be a distraction or something, like maybe knock
Ah.
over her card or something.
All right. I like it. That sounds good. All right. So Milu's gonna maybe jump up onto the table and mess up her cards.
And maybe run to the next carriage over.
Oh. All right. So, I mean, the doors are technically open right now. So yeah, go ahead. That's fine. Lisa is not happy about this, and she says, "Stupid dog." And then she gets up and starts running back out here towards your dog. And then the door closes behind her. So you're
Ying ying.
looking in her bag right now?
Yep.
Okay. Inside her bag are two very distinct things that catch your attention. One is a little bag with a white powder in it. And you can only assume that this is her stock.
Uh.
And you also see a revolver.
Whoa. Hmm. Risky,
Oh.
risky. Which one do I take?
And just to be clear, it's different
Mm,
than the other white powder.
Different. Yes, I'm talking
yeah.
about. You're thinking this is her drugs.
Uh-huh. Um, 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 um. I'll take the revolver.
Oh. All right.
I thought you would have taken the drugs.
Nope.
All right.
Because then if I take the drug, she will get angry and she will have a way to weaponize herself.
That's a very good point. Hang on. Let me get you a revolver here. One moment, please. And that should now be in your combat section. Let me add it to your favorites so it's just right on your main page. There you go. Now you have a revolver. And
Yep.
not soon after you're snooping through this woman's bag, she comes back through the door. Obviously still pissed because she could not find your dog. Being he's a tiny little fox terrier, he's easily able to hide, and he's very fast. So she storms back over and sits back down. And she immediately goes for her bag. And then she doesn't look in it per se, but she definitely like feels around in there.
Mm-hmm.
And she pulls out the bag very discreetly. And Ingrid, the doctor, you would notice what she's doing right now because you're keeping a close eye on her. She's trying to be stealthily doing this. However, she's not very discreet, especially considering she's high. So she's about ready to take more.
All right.
I'm gonna go over to Kai. Like he's still giddy about nicking off a revolver. Like he's pulling, like very discreetly pulling it away, pulling it out from the pocket. Like hey gun, and then he runs back again.
Look what
I'm
I
gonna be
got.
like,
Bye.
I'm gonna look at um Avery, and I'm just gonna say, why do you have a revolver, and where the hell did you get it?
All I can think of is Anchorman movie. Brick, where'd you get a hand grenade?
Pretty much, that's
I
what I
don't
was
know.
going for.
I thought about that one video of like, what do you have? Like a child running by, like, what do you have there? A knife? No.
That's also what I was thinking about too.
All right, so Avery's running back. Um, it's at this moment that this woman is going back through her bag again. She's putting the small baggie back. Was anybody planning on intervening with her when she was doing this, or no?
Yes, I was.
Okay, go ahead.
Aww.
So, what? What is the off for? I'm just curious.
I was like, I just in my mind, I'm at the point that like I'm just sitting there enjoying my drink, just trying to stay out of everybody's business. But I am observing this because the chair does turn. I figured out by now, so that I can turn which direction.
Yes, they do turn.
So I'm just turning. I have my leg up on like my knee, and I'm just enjoying my drink, observing this entire thing.
So Kai is enjoying first class, is what he's telling you. Because
And I'm just like, ah, as I watch as Ingrid intervenes, and I'm just like, no.
Okay, so Ingrid, you're going over to this woman. She's about ready to take another hit of her opium. What are you doing?
Yeah, so let me describe how I'm intervening.
Sure.
She's walking by, and the train, I imagine, it's swaying, it's clickety clacketing.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna try and time it so like she trips and she kind of stumbles, and she's going to stumble into the woman when she has the bag out.
Oh, all right. And she's like, "Oh, what? What?"
Oh, and try and yeah. So, does anything get knocked around?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it did. The white powder actually falls out of her bag, the little bag that is, and it kind of just goes dusting all over the couch.
You're right. And then she'll apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry.
She looks absolutely ripshit right now. She is so angry. What is wrong with you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Stewart, can you help us, please?
And she reaches
I've made such a mess.
she reaches into her bag, hoping to find the revolver that was just taken by Avery. And then she, shifts around more violently in the bag, looking for this thing. And then she eventually just pokes her head into the bag, and she's like, "Where is it? Who took it?"
I can also see Avery. I can observe. I would be able to be like, that guy right there, as I point to Avery.
Oh my god. You're throwing Avery right under the bus?
Really?
Unintentionally.
Throw it under the
I'm
sofa.
like inebriated at this point though, so
Oh my god. So Kai's just drunk right now then? Is that what you're saying?
a little bit, yeah. Like I have a buzz going.
I'm gonna throw it under the sofa.
Okay. Because this woman is coming straight towards you. Oh, that's you, Ingrid. Sorry, I might have grabbed your token
Yeah.
instead.
Is the attendant, the maid, coming over to help clean the mess?
Yep. Sorry. Can only move one token at a time, at least
Yeah,
in one
fair.
direction. So the maid comes up to you, Ingrid, says, "What's the problem?"
Says, I'm so sorry. I stumbled into this poor woman, and I seems to have caused such a mess here. And she gestures to the big stain of white powder all over the couch.
She lets out a long sigh. Obviously, this is not the first time this has happened to her, where she's stuck cleaning up somebody else's mess. So she does do that, and she goes about it and grabs like I don't know what they call brooms or anything like that, like the little hand
Right.
brooms, but
Yeah. Cleaning cloths and stuff. And Ingrid will help her.
Yep.
She's not being uppity. She wanted another person
yeah,
there and being involved. So
Yep. So this woman right here, she looks back at you and she sees you going to help clean up the mess with the maid, and she immediately storms off towards Avery, and she stops right in front of you, Avery. Where is it?
Where is what?
You know what?
What, your drugs?
No, no, not my drugs. The other thing that was in my bag. Give it to me.
Why do you assume it was me? Because some drunk told you to?
Yes, as a matter of fact. And she's like itching her neck right now.
And I'm
So
gonna
you
just like
trust
roll
a
my
drunk
eyes
person
real
more
quick.
than a sober one.
I'm gonna just roll my eyes and just say, "You can't ever trust a drunk. I don't know who you're talking about."
And she turns back towards you, Kai. She says, "Stay out of this. This is not your business." And she looks right back at you, Avery. Where is it? Give it to me now.
I don't know, have you tried looking through your bag again? I mean, with your condition, I would assume that you just missed it.
What is that supposed to mean? My condition.
Have you looked at yourself in the mirror? Like, I assume like it's dark outside and the window is actually reflecting.
On the candlelight of the room, something like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So she's gonna stop for a moment, and then she's gonna go wander back over towards the bag. It seems that
I
all
would
of it.
like discreetly pick back, but like I would discreetly like pick back the revolver and give a stink eye at Kai, like.
And I'm gonna look at Avery and just say, "Oh,
right under the bus with Guy.
Yeah.
One of
While
these
while she
days-
was while she
Sorry.
was distracted, Ingrid would like to have taken the bag and handed it to the maid and just kind of nods like this, that be disposed of.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Thank you. So at this point, we'll say that everything's kind of cleaned up over here, and now this woman has her bag and no tiny bag and no revolver. So she's not happy right now. She's actually pretty steamed. So she's gonna go
And I'm
over
just gonna be
here
like,
and just sit right in this chair.
I'm gonna look at the two of them and just say, she'll come down off her high eventually.
Yeah.
This is a
Ingrid
divine
has
intervention
no
of
idea what you're
sorts.
talking about. Some drunk rambling on about who knows what.
All right. So
But she's done her duty because now this person isn't going to overdose.
that's correct.
I'm just gonna ignore that Ingrid just told me I'm just a random drunk and just continued rambling on.
The rambling drunk is going to be angry and ramble while drunk.
Even more. Yep. And ramble even more.
All right.
I'm not gonna be
So then-
upset or like angry. I'm just ignoring.
Well,
We're gonna play
Ingrid's
the whole
got
episode
words.
drunk.
Ingrid will
Yep,
then
mhm.
come over and nod to Avery and say, perhaps we should check the rest of the car. There
I
may
would,
be other
like,
people
mutter,
who
like,
are...
I would nod to Ingrid, like, yeah, sure, let's go. But then, like, maybe as we walk, like, he would mutter under his breath, like, whisper to Ingrid, like, maybe we let her overdose and she dies. We could see that thing again that bothers Kai so much, you know? Not to be morbid or anything.
Well, this is my worry,
I'm gonna-
that the spirit might... She's whispering back to Avery because Kai is drunk. So she's trying to whisper so that Kai doesn't hear it because he's just rambling everything,
Kai's
not being
just-
a discreet investigator.
He's living the high life right now for a change, and here we are,
Right.
like, trying to bring you back to the real world.
I'm just trying to relax, guys. I've had a stressful day. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
she
great.
whispers to
Yeah, you
Avery
do.
that
You do.
that maybe we should check because there may be other people that are close to death that spirit is trying to collect, and that we can
It's cool, it's cool.
prevent that from happening.
Okay. So you guys
I'm
are
not willing
gonna-
to sacrifice people to
All right. So what is everybody doing then? Is everybody moving into the next car, or are they kind of sauntering around, just wandering?
Everybody,
Ingrid is. I
including,
don't.
well, if I'm with Amanda, then I think I'm just going to stay in this car,
Okay.
just trying to relax. And
Ingrid at first is just gonna.
I'm
She's gonna stop at the door though, and as Avery goes in, and she's just gonna kind of observe all the people.
Yeah. All right.
Get a
So,
look at the car.
yep. Ingrid, on the left is Dorothea. You didn't know she was on the train to Stockholm because she didn't tell you. So
You're right.
she's
That's,
just sitting
yeah.
there on the bench. She's in the coach section, so obviously not living the high life like you guys are. She's just reading a book right now. And to your right, this man right here, he appears to be dressed in some type of an officer's type uniform. You can only assume that this is probably like the train guard. They were pretty common on trains. Or actually, they call them inspectors, actually.
Like an air marshal equivalent.
Yeah, except for trains. And there's also, a couple of just typical people. There's a family up in the front that seems to be just chilling out. One's sleeping on down here. This man right up here is also just kind of staring out the window. He looks like he's relatively old, and he's just kind of quiet, doesn't say anything to you, doesn't even acknowledge your existence when you're there. He's just staring out the window. So no overall bad vibes happening in here. Except for Dorothea, obviously.
Yeah. I'll let Doc. You can go first with Avery because Ingrid is pausing at the door and she's kind of taken aback and is trying to think of what to do.
Sure. Okay. Avery, what are you doing right now? What are you hoping to do with your new gun? Are you doing something? You just gonna play with it? Like a little child?
Yeah, I'm just. I'm not gonna like brandish it or anything. But I'm just like. I mean, looking at my gear right now, like I'm just like collecting random shit. I have a walking stick. I have like a crowbar.
Yeah, they don't.
I have.
The gear system for this game is very simple. Like, you start out with basically nothing, and then you just collect as you go along.
Yeah, the thing I collect is so not necessarily random, but I feel like okay, I have like this huge walking stick off on my back, strapped to my back, and then also a crowbar for some reason. Then, I mean, someone looking at like, I mean, I'm 19. I'm not that much of a kid, but like I'm small, maybe like. What the fuck is this kid with like two things strapped to his back doing
with a
around with his
stick and a
dog?
crowbar?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Maybe the inspector is eyeballing you because he's used to vagrant people that kind of hide on the train trying to get free rides. Maybe
And probably stealing stuff.
Yeah, that too. Maybe he's interested in you, Avery.
I would like stop
Avery would never
here
steal stuff.
because
No.
I would like stop here because maybe Milu for some reason he stopped and I maybe like I had to like scratch his ear or something like do you want to get picked up? Are you tired? Like maybe I will coo at him, like make baby noises at him.
Okay. Dorothea is gonna look up from her book at you, Avery. She's gonna say, Avery? I didn't realize you were on this train.
Oh, hi, nice lady.
It's
Dorothea.
Dorothea.
I was absent for the last 2 sessions, so I don't know who you are. So, but you're nice to me, so yeah.
Yeah, she knows you because when you guys were back in Sorland, this was part of the past of Ingrid. So Dorothea is an old war buddy that they shared a lot of time together with, and Ingrid had infected Dorothea's brother with a disease and killed him on purpose, mind you.
Right.
So
Ouch.
that's the gist
But
of
yeah,
it.
you're nice to me, so I'm gonna be nice to you.
Okay. I didn't realize you were on this train. Where are you going?
To be honest, I forgot.
Well, I'm on my way to Stockholm. I'm heading back home.
Oh, fun!
Well, it's a long
May I
ride.
sit next to you?
Be my guest.
Is the cop still staring at me?
He is not. No.
Yep.
All right. So let's jump back over to Kai for a second, and Kai and Amanda, as a matter of fact. Kai, you're still drinking, I assume?
I've kind of had my fill, I'd say. I've had my scotch, and I'm just kind of relaxing.
Feeling pretty good now?
Feeling pretty good. I've stopped my ramblings.
How inebriated are you right now, would you say?
Inebriated that I could fall asleep in the viewing car.
All right. All right. So to your left were those two people from earlier, the people that were holding hands. The man right directly next to you, he's dressed in a very suave blue business suit with a green hat, and he looks very proper and gentleman. Hang on a sec. Let me get you a picture of him. Where is he? There he is. It's him right there. He may look young, however, Kai, despite the fact that you're not like 100% there right now because you're drunk, I want you to roll me an observation, please.
Are you doing the tarot?
And I'm going to have... let's have Amanda, while you're doing that, she's going to kind of look over at what you're doing there.
Nope, I totally failed that.
No,
That's fine.
I hear my husband.
And so Amanda's going to just roll instead here. As soon as I get Amanda's sheet. Alright, so that was observation. No! Alright, well, that's okay. So the man next to you, again, he seems normal, but you do notice that he's coughing an awful lot. Like, he's definitely not 100% there. And you see his wife next to him, Kai. She's like holding his hand still, and she says, "Can I get you anything?"
I got a car over here.
And he says, "No, I'm fine, thank you. It's nothing, I assure you." And then the woman looks at you, Kai, and she says, "I'm sorry, terribly sorry. My soon-to-be husband, we're getting married, by the way." She's very excited about that, mind you. My future husband here hasn't been feeling well these past few weeks, so I do apologize for any inconvenience.
Not a problem, I'm going to say. I'm just going to also mention that I have a colleague of mine who could examine him if you would like me to call her over.
Sure is.
Okay. Yeah, that would... Well, if it's not too much trouble, I think that would be great. Thank you.
I'm going to turn the chair around and say, Ingrid, as I see you by the door still, would you be able to assist me for a second?
Sorry to kind of retcon, but I mean, I don't know the timing, but because she was I was gonna have her go in the other thing finally. You know, she was squaring up, taking a few breaths, but she had some stuff to do.
So
in
we'll
the other
say
part.
that...
But she'll be coming back, so...
Yeah, so we'll say maybe Ingrid will jump over to you for a sec, then we'll hop back over to Kai after the fact.
Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
Okay, Ingrid, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, so Ingrid kind of like takes a couple deep breaths, squares her shoulders, and steps in and walks. Tries to look purposeful and like kind of confident, but is just awkward. And moves up and says, "Ah, Dorothea,
Oh,
it's good to see you.
Ingrid, it's nice to see you too. I didn't realize you were
I
on this train until I saw Avery here.
Yes, I didn't know you were here either. She stammers a little. I apologize. There's probably another matter I should attend to." And she turns back to the inspector and says, "You are the inspector, yes?"
He answers, "Yes, that's me. My name is
There,
Inspector Delgren."
He had to go down here.
Inspector Delgren. Well met. There was a slight incident in the other car. There was a woman who was inebriated. Poppy, I think. I was afraid that she might overdose.
That works.
The maid has her pharmaceuticals. I thought you might wish to look into the matter. I think she's no longer in any danger. But
Well, I'll check in on this. Thank you for letting me know and bringing it to my attention.
I'm shot here. Oh god.
I apologize for any background noise, guys.
Yep. So she'll kind of then she'll say, and she'll turn to Dorothea and say, I'll be back," and then she'll follow the inspector and just kind of like discreetly point out the woman involved, and and say, the maid should have the pharmaceuticals, and then we can say this is when she'll be coming back, and Kai would motion to her.
Okay. So Inspector Dahlgren is going to make his way down towards the woman here. And are you still with him, or are you just kind of staying where you are?
No, after she points out the woman, she basically she's going to stay here until she's until Kai would beckon her to maybe look at this
Okay.
sickly man with the tuberculosis or whatever, the phlegm.
Yep. All right. So this man right here is going to just take a seat right there. He's going to keep a very close eye on this woman because she still is acting weird, of course. And meanwhile, this man right here has been coughing an awful lot these past few minutes, as a matter of fact. So, Ingrid, are you going in there to check on that, or what are you doing?
Actually, when Kai would drunkenly, yes,
Oh yes, drunken.
call to her and see
Yes.
the man is coughing, and she'll stop and think for a second, and then like the thoughts are turning in her head, and then she makes a decision, and she's gonna go back. Okay.
I would say that I am cognizant enough that my inebriation is... I can hold my liquor, essentially, is what I'm trying to say, and I don't look as drunk as I am.
But weren't you just throwing Avery under the bus for stealing a revolver?
Yes, but I was doing, like, the Leonardo DiCaprio, like, whistle thing
Yep.
from the meme.
Got it.
As a...
All right.
Doing it in a friendly way.
Yes, mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, personally, I don't think I'd
Well,
take that in
you
a very
fooled her,
friendly
probably.
way, but yeah, I would have been pissed
Yeah.
about that.
Ingrid will come back and talk to Dorothy, kind of like get Dorothea's attention and say, there seems to be an ill passenger in the other car. Would you care to assist me?
Well, just like old times. Of course, yes, I'd love to.
Yes. She'll wince slightly try not to do it, but and then we'll lead back to the other car and walk up to the man and she'll kind of pause and wait until he has a coughing fit, I guess, and then she will step up, Dorothea, beside her and say, excuse me, are you all right, sir?
He's
My,
like- Sorry, go ahead.
she'll pause, and actually, when she pauses, it would give him a chance to interject.
Yep. Yeah, so he's kind of like trying to explain what's going on, but he's coughing so much right now. He's cutting out a few words. He says, terribly sorry. And roll me an observation now. I'm going to have...
Okay, I had a
Dorothea
question
roll.
about the difference between observation and vigilance, actually.
So vigilance is looking for things that are hidden. Observation is observing things that are happening with it in front of you.
Oh, okay. I thought observation. I thought observation was more like insight, like to understand people,
No, that
to
would...
understand what they're thinking or feeling. That's what I was looking at. To understand what they're thinking, feeling, or planning.
Yeah, that's certainly... let me double check that. Hang on, but the way I understood
Okay.
it was that basically observation was...
Because observation's under empathy, so I thought it was more feeling. That's why I didn't really put much into
yeah.
observation.
Let me just check the book real quick. Hang on, I know that.
Sure.
So it says...
Yeah, sorry, I was just kind of curious because I was trying to understand the difference between the two.
That's fine. So for observation, and this is coming right from the book, it says when talking to another person or spending time in her presence, you can use observation to understand what she is thinking, feeling, or planning. Okay, there you go. There's your answer.
Okay. And then vigilance is
And vigilance is... Where's vigilance?
so I know it's like somebody sneaking
Yeah, noticing somebody
or
sneaking up
following
on you.
tracks. So like perception and survival. But then I'm looking at it says it can be used to interpret situations you are monitoring.
Yeah, all right, so let's go with vigilance then. How about that?
Okay.
That's my mistake. Because those
Yeah,
are
no,
kind of
it's
like
okay. It's
easily...
yeah, I know it's like it
used.
happens all the time in D&D too. It's like perception or investigation, right?
Yeah.
Whoops.
So Dorothea knows exactly what's going on here.
Oh, wow. Nice.
You're welcome to roll 2.
Okay, well, I'm glad I brought her because it's
So,
beyond me apparently.
yeah, Dorothea, she immediately puts her bag down and she pulls out a couple of masks and hands you one. Put this on.
Okay, yep, she'll put it on.
Mm-hmm. And
then she'll motion to the others to maybe move back a little bit.
yeah, so this woman that's standing next to this man is like still holding his hand, like kind of like caressing his arm at this point, like, oh my god, is he okay? Dorothea looks at you, Ingrid, and let me just... one sec here.
And Kai's been sitting next to this guy for a long time, right? I'm sure that'll be fine. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
With a slight
definitely.
smirk on my actual face as a player. It'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
No, so as Dorothea hands you the masks and immediately puts it on her face, you can hear her say through the mask, she says, measles.
Ooh.
I forget, are measles contagious?
Yes, they are very contagious.
They are like the most
Very.
contagious of everything.
Oh, I guess I've never had them, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
As
well,
a
they've mostly
IRL
been
person.
eradicated, but they were big time in the 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That is true.
And
Yeah, it's usually like, it's like unusual scales where like a cold is usually like a 4 or a 5, and the measles is like a 15.
yeah.
Oh, right.
So, as you say that, Dorothea, steps back, and she says, I suggest you keep your distance.
Yeah, she will.
gonna-
She'll kind of like step back over here and motion to Avery and to Kai to step back away. The wife is
Already
probably
too
lost
late,
cause, but
probably. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Um,
step over to this part of the.
So, as sorry. So as you guys are walking away, the room starts to get very
I'm
cold
39,
again.
So I feel I get cold by my kid. So
And one sec. I downloaded this new module to play with my lights all at once. I'm still learning it, so I apologize for the
No
timing.
worries.
But
No problem.
not long ago.
as this man is basically coughing up a lung at this point, Dorothea had mentioned measles. She did notice also that he was coughing up blood. This seems to be a very accelerated case of it. And on top of things, everybody that's in the room right now that has the sight, that is all of you, notice that things do not seem correct in here anymore. The lights have dimmed, and the room's very cold. People can feel the cold. As a matter of fact, you see the man who's sick, he starts shivering, like, violently.
I'll whisper to Kai, like, is your friend back?
So you never
I-
get lean in it too.
I'm gonna be like, I'm assuming that we are gonna witness what's about to happen.
Yeah. So, as this man continues to cough and cough and cough, he's coughing up more blood. Whoever is watching this right now, go ahead and we'll just do a, I guess, vigilance now that I know the difference. That would be, hang on a sec, let me just verify.
Can I remove my frightened condition, or
No, because we're still technically in the same
Okay.
night.
okay? Ooh, I win.
All right.
Okay, question for me, because now I picked up the skill that the eagle eye, which I gain it when I'm interpreting a situation that I'm not involved in, which just seems like very weird and slippery, and I
That
don't
is weird.
understand it. But yeah, I don't know. It's from the private investigator, right?
Yeah, let
I don't know.
me just double check that. Hang on a sec.
Sure.
That was Eagle Eye. Let's
Yeah.
see.
I didn't do it
Yeah,
last
I
time
have
because
that
I
too.
was directly. Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have that too.
Oh, nice. Well, maybe you could get a couple of.
Yeah,
I don't
so you
know.
get
Yeah.
+2 to vigilance when trying to interpret a situation you are not involved in. So I think that if you weren't directly looking at what was this man who was sick, then you wouldn't need to use this. But actually, yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and use it. Yeah, give +2 to vigilance for you, because
Okay.
this situation will apply for that. Nice.
Oh, and I managed to scrape out
Cool.
one.
That's all right.
That's okay.
So, as you're watching this man clutch to the very last breath of his life here, behind him is, in the window, like, you don't see the Shinigami in front of you, you see its reflection in the window behind this man. And as you see this thing, this man's final breath is done. He's dead. And then you see the Shinigami disappear. Almost like he came to take care of some business.
I'm gonna look at the. I'm just gonna look right at where the gentleman died, basically,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to basically look and say, well, That's the first time I've seen a Shinigami actually do their job in hindsight, considering that I'm just basically talking to myself at this point, just
Okay.
not out loud.
Got it. Yeah. So
So I'm basically saying to myself, well, I hope that that gentleman, and I should say, but that gentleman wasn't of Asian descent.
nope. But he must have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's almost like this
Yeah, I guess so.
almost like the Shinigami is not tied to a region; it's tied to where death lingers.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
So
normal.
the local Grim Reapers are outsourcing apparently.
Well, yeah, obviously,
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
it's a tough job, and with the inflation rate and the crappy pay.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm
No.
crying.
No, the
See.
only reason there's a Shinigami here is because it's tied to Kai's past.
Yeah, well, still, Ingrid is going to be unhappy at this. She's actually going to like stumble back, kind of in shock, like stumble against the cart, kind of push it, collapse to the couch a little bit, and just like put her head in her hand, face in her hands, and she's just like, not again, no, not again. And she's just like, she's kind of out of it.
Okay. Is anybody else reacting to what Ingrid's doing?
Not really.
Okay. I think that maybe Amanda is going to join the conversation here. And she's going to suggest that everybody leaves this train car. It's already too late for that man, and, well, his wife, I'm sure, is probably not far behind, given the accelerated rate of his, let's say, issue.
The crown, I don't
And
know, drop it for you.
we're going to say that Jace is going to be in agreement with that, and he's going to definitely make his way towards the front. I'm going to assume that he's probably going to play as the scared individual right now. And okay. All right, so Inspector Dahlgren is going to stand up, and he's going to very cautiously move like as far away from as possible from this body, because he did hear the words measles come from Dorothea's mouth. And this would not be the first time that this has happened on this train. So he just shakes his head and he says, "Not again." And he says, "All right, everybody, let's get out of this room, please." And then he looks over at the woman that's sitting next to the man that's dead. Also, this lady over here, the crazy lady, she says, "You two stay here."
I'm moving back. I was gonna go.
And this woman right here is crying her eyes out right now because the love of her life just passed away right in front of her. And now she knows that it's probably only a matter of time before it happens to her too.
Oh, one's pushing, one's flying over.
And
I'm gonna reach into my back pocket and pull my mask from my back pocket,
Sorry, Fred.
well, Dorothea
and just
did as
equip
well.
myself with it. Oh, okay, I wasn't sure if that happened. I wasn't really paying that great attention. I'm sorry.
I don't think that anybody would just be carrying masks around unless you were a doctor.
Well, or if you deal with this on a daily basis.
That's true too. Yeah. All right. So yeah, the inspector is going to kind of shoo everybody out of this room. So I'm just gonna shove everyone out.
Oh shit.
Yep.
I'm so
And he's going to lock the door behind him, and he's the one with the key. So anybody who wants to go through has to go through me. That's what he says. I'm just kidding. He doesn't actually say.
But I'm gonna be like, our cart is the other direction.
Well, I can't risk anybody getting sick. You understand, of course, right?
Kinda. I'm not trying to fight anybody, so I just comply.
Yeah, got it. And oh, I left a maid in there. She's gonna die of measles. Let me out! Let me out! She's gonna morph through the walls. There we go. Alright, so the maid is out, and Ingrid is in the first cart, so she's okay. Let's see. So I think that's good for now. Let's see. So now you're all standing in the front train. Everybody's kind of like high alert right now because you see the inspector. He's like kind of directing people, like saying, "Hey, we got a situation in the second car. Nobody is allowed back there." And people are starting to panic at this point.
Ingrid, my doctor Ingrid, she would have to be kind of like helped along by the inspector because she's got red rimmed eyes and she just when she comes in she just collapses onto the thing and she's not going to be of much help.
Okay. Like, are you feeling physically ill?
She's reliving trauma.
Got it.
Because disease and face and
yeah, that was a very common thing for you.
It's
not
it's a
something
trigger
you get used to.
for her. So, not for me as a player, but for my character.
Understood. Yeah, that's not something you get used to, ever. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, what is everybody doing now besides Ingrid, who's kind of just taking a moment? Everybody's kind of locked in this particular train car at this point in time.
I'm gonna sit next to this old man. Like, I don't know. Maybe Avery just finds comfort in that man.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the old man looks over at you and kind of nods. He's a man of few words. Then he just goes back to looking out the window. He seems to be not bothered by what's happening here. And he looks at you, Avery. And then he says, "I've seen it,
Yeah?
The shadows, yes. They're all
What
throughout.
did you do when you saw it?
This is not new to me. I've seen many things in my journey." He proceeds to tell you that he actually is a lighthouse keeper and that he is traveling on his way to Stockholm to visit some friends after he lost his job. However, he's seen a lot of very strange things in his time as a lighthouse keeper. You probably do, being in isolation all the time. So he's, I think, acknowledging the fact that he can see the Shinigami too.
He's the guy that says, "I see dead people."
Yes. Yep. So you hear the train whistle outside, kind of signaling that you're getting close to your destination.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I mean, you guys have pretty much done everything that you can in this. This was really just meant to kind of expose Kai's secret and what's been following him. We can spend the next 15 minutes doing like level up stuff or whatever, but I think that Kai, you're probably still feeling pretty guilty after all this, despite the fact that you got out of this relatively scot-free, you know, with only a brush with the Shinigami, per se.
Yeah.
So
I would also say that I've kind of let go of the guilt of my father's death, and now I just have guilt.
just normal guilt now.
But it's manageable guilt that I can
So,
overcome eventually.
all right.
And
Well,
I'm sure it doesn't have a lien on your soul.
yeah.
No, not exactly. Not at all.
That was kind of the closure that I was looking for in this particular episode, as to whether or not
Mhm.
find out if you were going to accept your guilt or if you were just going to live with it.
I mean, everybody lives with guilt, but I've accepted that the guilt is there and that I can't do anything about it at this point. So,
Okay. Well, Kai has reached acceptance and found out that it was in fact a Shinigami that had taken his father years and years ago. And then
it still puzzles me though, because he never told me about the deal that they made.
well, maybe that could be another thing that happens down the road,
Oh boy.
because I am working on Japan stuff. So
Yes.
yep, I think I decided on setting up headquarters for the setting in Kyoto.
Ooh.
I figured that because it's
Okay.
more of the heritage of Japan, like even after the Meiji Restoration, they kind of kept that the same.
Yep.
So
Well, the Imperial Palace was based
Kyoto,
in Kyoto, but then Tokyo became the capital due to the
the Restoration. Yeah.
the restoration. So I guess if you really wanted to put it in Tokyo or in Kyoto, but then again, they also burned the
A lot of
Imperial
castles.
Palace in Kyoto during the Meiji Restoration. So,
So I actually I'm going with a fictional, not a fictional castle, a real castle, but instead of it
Okay.
being ruined, it's going to be something that was never actually destroyed.
okay, I was just kind of like bringing that to a fruition as well, as that like in Japanese textbooks they talk about how during the Meiji Restoration invaders attacked Kyoto and Kyoto's castle burnt down. That's why they moved it to Tokyo.
Yep.
But that's kind of what I have to share. So,
Got it.
Alright, see you guys.
All right. So.
but it is your story essentially. So,
Yep. No, that's fine. That's for a different setting. The Mythic Japan stuff is a completely separate
Yep.
game. All right. So we'll say that your train ride arrives in Stockholm. The whistle blows, and I'll bring you guys back into daytime now that time has progressed enough. Okay. And I don't have an actual setting for a train station, so I'm just going to bring you back to the Mythic North for now. And okay, so you guys make your way to Stockholm finally. And Kai, I assume you're going to get off here and go home.
I would assume so. If that's what everybody else wants to do as well.
Well, they don't live in Stockholm. They would be going to Uppsala. So. That's
Well,
fine.
if you recall, I did move my family to Uppsala when we went to.
Oh, I didn't catch that. All right.
It was part of the whole. I have moved to Uppsala, but I frequently travel back and forth because of the businesses that are out there that I have.
Got it. Okay. All right. So you do live in Uppsala then. Got it. All right. Well, if that makes it easy then. So you guys take your switching trains to Uppsala because there's no direct route from where you were going there. So you take your swapping train and arrive safely in Uppsala. And you guys have completed the train to Stockholm mystery. Good job.
Woo!
So a little bit of a dive into Kai's past. And let me...
Thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I like the Shinigami. I think it needs to be tweaked a lot.
Oh, you could flesh it out for sure. There's like so much more history there.
Yeah, I was trying to find
That-
stuff that was kind of like generic and maybe not too hard to implement. So that was why I did like the lighting and stuff like that, and the cold. So it was fun though. But yeah, I'll definitely refine it. I think it needs some work, and the way it behaves is a little bit erratic.
Yeah, because it's really cool. Because like, not all Shinigami in Japanese folklore are malicious. Some of them just help ferry people from life to the afterlife. So
Right. Yep. It depends on the story you're reading, because I've seen multiple different things.
oh yes, and most of the stories about Shinigami are maliciously intended to teach a lesson. So that's probably one of the biggest things about it.
I didn't realize
But I know
that...
for
Sorry, go ahead.
no, go please continue.
I
Sorry,
was going to say, I didn't
interrupt you.
realize that it created like a talisman of sorts. That was something I never read.
I had to look at the. I then grabbed my English or my Japanese history book, and there's a lot of talk about folklore in like there's a section of it based on the folklore that was told, because it's a huge part of their like history.
Oh, yeah,
So
definitely.
it talks about all the different yokai that exist during that time, and it's just a really, really cool thing to read through.
Yeah, I'm excited to do some more stuff for Japan setting. It's going to take a lot of work, though, so I'll be doing this for quite a while before it's ready to go. But, yeah, that's another game. All right. So, Kai and... All right, so everybody's going to Uppsala now. So, we'll call this mystery done. And now we can do the level ups. You guys all arrive safely, and definitely unexpected that you would come across something like this on a train. It's definitely not typical with being part of the society to be attacked by stuff on a train.
Right.
Yeah, so let's get into leveling up. So let me pull out my questions. I should just know these by heart now, but I don't.
Yeah.
All right, so participated in the session. That's 1 point. 2, 3. Well, actually, you already identified the Shinigami, so we didn't previously identify anything. So that's 2 and 3. Okay, so that's 5 points for you guys.
Sick.
All right, so, and now that you've finished your mystery, you also get to do the points for the headquarters as well.
Right. Headquarters.
So the headquarters questions are similar. Did you play at least one scene at the headquarters? Not this particular time, no. Did you encounter any new type of Vaesen? Yes, you had the Shinigami. That's 1. Did you visit a place of magic? No. I mean, magic was used here, but it's not a place of magic.
I have a question. Is this since the last time we were at the headquarters, or just since the last mystery?
The last mystery.
Because did we do this for the one after after Soren and the ice giant?
Sorlin.
Sorlin.
Well,
Yes, this was part of the.
Yeah, technically.
This was something completely separate from Sorlin.
Technically, no, you haven't, but you never made it back to your headquarters yet, so you would have been doing... Actually, we can do this twice now, because we never did one because you hadn't made it back yet.
Right. So I was thinking that the temple place where the ice giant was, the Queen of Ice or whatever,
The
was
Lady of the
might have been
Cold.
a place of magic, right?
Oh, yeah, that's most definitely.
Okay. Yeah. So I was just curious. I wasn't sure if they got wrapped up together, if it was like all of them, from when we left the headquarters to when we came back, or if they were separated. So
Yeah, so we'll do...
sorry, just asking.
Nope, no problem. So we'll do Sorland first, and then we'll move on to the train for
Okay.
development. So Did you play in at least one scene at the headquarters? You did last game for Sorlin, so yes, that would have been 1 point. You encountered a giant, so that's a new Vason for you. That's 2. You visited the place of magic, which was the temple. That's 3. You were definitely subjected to it because there was a lot of unnatural weather phenomena that were happening there. So that's 4 points. And did you bring occult books or other important items back to headquarters? I don't think you did.
Not necessarily occult-related items, but definitely journal passages from us, from Amanda.
Yeah, that wouldn't be an occult book,
Well,
but
you're
we can call
right,
that
like I
an
said.
important item. Yeah, so yeah, I'll take that.
She did our note-taking of sorts while we were on the
Yeah.
adventure.
Yep. And so that's 5 points. You didn't make any important contacts this particular point in time.
And does Dorothea count?
Yes. Let's count that one, sure. Because Dorothea, I feel like, is probably going to be one of those recurring NPCs.
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, it's not important for the group as a whole, but it would be, I think, for my character. It was very impactful,
Yes. Okay.
and I feel like it's going to be ongoing, so which is great.
Yep. All right. So
Bring on the suffering.
Hey, you chose this. Remember that.
Yeah, no, it's great. Can't have a good story without
That's right.
these elements.
All right. So that's 6 points then. Was the mystery particularly difficult and epic? Do you feel that was the case, everyone?
I thought it was pretty difficult because I didn't know how to murder him.
That's right.
How to murder a giant?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, especially an ice giant of sorts. Like, there's no really big way of killing a giant. I mean, we're not David from David and Goliath.
You guys technically could have fought it, and
We could have, but
that's obviously
I talked
running
it
a
down,
risk.
which is even better.
Yeah, I mean, usually with Vason, it's about there's a ritual to find, right?
Yes. However, I always like to reward people for thinking outside the box too, especially
Fair.
for.
I think I
talk down a
I thought
giant.
outside the box on this one.
Yeah, when you're talking down a giant, because like, even in like the mystery for this particular section, they make it a point to say, like, they're not easily spoken to, and they're generally temperamental, but they can be reasoned with very carefully. So.
And I chose my words very carefully.
And so that was good. Yeah, that was a nice outside of the box solution to that particular mystery. So yeah, we'll give you the point for that. And you did solve the mystery. Well, you solved it, but you didn't necessarily get rid of the problem, I should say. So that's 8 points total for you guys for that part. And now we'll start for the train. That didn't take place at a headquarters, so there's no point there. You encountered a Shinigami, so that's 1 point there. You did not visit a place of magic. You were subjected to magic. That's 2 points now. You do bring an important item. You get that new talisman there, Kai. I'm thinking that maybe you make that talisman your new memento now that you've given...
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, now that you've given the jar to the Shinigami. Okay, so that's 3 points. And then, did you make important contacts? No. Was the mystery particularly difficult and epic in this situation?
Sure.
All right.
I
wouldn't say it was
I'm gonna
particularly
say
difficult. You
I
probably
would say it's not difficult. It's complicated. Like, we don't have
Yeah.
that much resources.
Yeah.
Like, we're drained out from the last mystery.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. So
I would say that even our characters were also pretty drained out by that point of trying to deal with another threat that we didn't really see coming.
Yeah, no kidding. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll say that one wasn't particularly difficult, or not necessarily epic either. Maybe for Kai, but not for others who aren't directly affected by this.
Mhm.
So that's 4 points, and then we have the solving the mystery, so that you did. So that's 5 points total. So you have 6 plus 5 is 11.
11.
And yeah, so 11 development points for your castle.
What do we want to? We'll have to consult with Aloy too on this, so maybe we should hold off on.
Yeah, if you want to take it into chat or whatever, go right ahead.
Right.
Right. I was just gonna. Where should we record the points that we have? They don't really go on
I
a
would say just
character
put it
sheet,
in
right?
the investigators chat
Yeah, so I'll put.
Or the
or
paranoid
discussion
board.
chat actually.
Let me pull up your castle in Foundry here, and then I can just add the points there as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an actual headquarters. Can you guys? I'm gonna see if I can share this. Hang on a sec. You should be able to see all of this. Oh, it's in Observer, so you should see it. In the actors section, the one that looks like a little person, there should be a Vaesen NPCs folder. Do you see that?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, there I
Yes.
see. Yeah, the Castle
Core
Gillinkers.
game
Yeah.
headquarters, then Castle Gillinkruts. Yeah, that's your
Okay.
castle.
I was looking at it. I thought I was going to look at it on the map, but
Yeah, so you have 16 points total right now because you had 5 still before.
okay. Cool.
So
I'm gonna. We got it recorded, but I'm gonna put a note in the discussion too, so we can chat about it.
Sounds good. So you guys can take that into discussion chat and find out what you want to add, and I'll add it when you guys have decided.
Sounds good.
All right. So yeah, that's the end for the train to Stockholm. Hope you guys had a good time with that one. It was definitely challenging.
It was a lot of fun.
Implement a Shinigami, but it was fun.
I can imagine from your point of view, it was quite difficult for sure.
It was. I liked the idea of it. I thought it was pretty cool, but it definitely would have made more sense in a Japanese setting, of course. But
Well, and I guess with the way I looked at it too was I had Japanese connections with my wife being Japanese, so
yep, I get it.
I figured that the tie-in could be there somehow.
Yep, we made it work. So that's all that matters.
Yes, we did.
All right. So
So we're off next week, and you'll have a fun birthday party for your son.
Yes, please have fun with your son's birthday party.
I will.
I hope he enjoys it.
Yeah, he will. Got some good stuff planned. But so the next mystery is called The Prince and the Witch. So that'll be what you guys are in store for the next time around.
Nice. That'll be on the 31st.
Yep, I'll put out an event when I have that all set up.
Cool.
All right.
I was going to mention, but clearly we've already got it covered because of Memorial Day, but I was going to be out of town, so.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Have a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy your night.
Yes, you as well.
Good
See
night.
you later.